Hey there guys, it's Silver, your host, and for today's simple Digivolution guide, I'm going to show you how to get a Kuwagamon from a Kunemon. Now before we begin, could I ask you, if these guides are proving helpful, to subscribe if you haven't so far. I'm trying to get the channel to 500 subs before the end of summer. Now, let's begin. I'm going to start by giving Kunemon a portable potty. Disobedient Digimon. You will be scolded. Okay, let's try again. And then we'll get onto the stat requirements. There we go. Now, to get a Kuwagamon, the stat requirements are pretty much identical to those of Kabuterimon. You need above 1000 HP, 1000 MP, 100 offense, and 100 speed, above those numbers. The only difference is, with Kabuterimon, it requires you to have one or less care mistakes. I would personally recommend none. Whereas for a Kuwagamon, you need to make more than 5 care mistakes. That's literally the only difference. So, for the purpose of this guide, we're going to train just like Kabuterimon, and I will highlight care mistakes to you as we go along. They are going to the toilet on the floor, not feeding your Digimon when he asks for it, and also refusing to let him sleep. So we'll begin Kunemon's training while making those care mistakes. As you can see here, Kunemon needs to use the toilet. Out of all the care mistakes that I mentioned to you, letting him go to the toilet on the floor is the easiest care mistake to make, because it also serves as a visual representation of how many care mistakes he has made. For the purpose of this guide, we're going to let him go to the toilet on the floor 6 times. So you will notice that if we train again while he needs to go to the toilet, he will do it on the floor. Just like that. Let him make that mistake 5 more times while training the stats that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and you should successfully get a Kunemon. I would also recommend that you take him to the restaurant in File City if you can afford it and you have it unlocked, in order to give him some added stat buffs. Just like in the Kabuterimon guide, I would recommend that you rest your Kunemon after every 5 training sessions at the gym. So after using 5 pieces of training apparatus, or using them 5 times, bring him here to Centaur Clinic. Centaurumon will tell you that he's a bit tired, and then you can rest him. This will make sure that you keep your happiness and discipline at reasonable levels, because you don't want a Digimon whose discipline is too low, because he will start to disobey instructions. We'll continue with the guide and put some more points into Kunemon's stats. Do keep in mind, however, that by making consistent care mistakes, you will sometimes suffer a tamer level down punishment as a result. However, the only way you are able to get a Kuwagamon is by making these care mistakes. So yes, the game can sometimes be weird. It will punish you for making care mistakes, yet incentivizes them to get certain Digimon. We'll be back after another day of training. And we are back with a quick update. We are now 2 days into Kunemon's training. His stats look like this, as you can see. All 4 of the core stats, the HP, MP, offense and speed, are above the parameters that I set out for you. And he has also made the required number of care mistakes. At least 5. I made a 6th one, just to be on the safe side. After your Kunemon has made all of the required care mistakes, stop doing it, because it will drop his discipline and happiness bar quite far down if you carry on doing it for no reason. I'll have a good tip for raising his discipline back up a bit later on in the guide. So, I'll continue until then, and I'll give you a stat update in just a moment. A good way to increase your Kunemon's discipline if you feel it's gotten too low during the care mistake process is to offer it a portable potty. Sometimes it will refuse it. It probably will here. No, it didn't. That's rare. But if he does, by any chance, decide to refuse it, you can then scold him. And if he knows he's in the wrong, for example, refusing to take an item from you, he will get a boost to his discipline for your scolding him. That's a good way to get the discipline bar back up. So, I'll next resume when we're about ready to get our Kuwagamon. I'd also recommend that you put some training into secondary stats, such as brains, and also defense, to pad out his stats a bit more. And there you have it. After following the guide to the letter, we have a Kuwagamon, the other option of Digivolution for a Kunemon. So, I do hope this guide has been helpful for you guys. If it has, do feel free to share it with your friends on social media. We also have a Nanimon only playthrough running on the channel right now, which is quite self-explanatory. We're going through the entire game, trying to complete it with nothing but a Nanimon. If you'd like to see more of these guides, please feel free to leave recommendations, and I will see you in the next Digivolution guide. So guys, I have been Silver, your host. Have a fantastic morning, afternoon or night, and I will see you again very soon. Take care guys.